Hi, everyone. This is Angelo again, and it's a great February so far. It's the second month of the year, and over the last week, I was able to get excited with an upcoming film that by now you probably have um, guessed what I'm talking about. It's Raya and the Last Dragon, um, and it's going to be distributed by Disney. I think it will be released in March this year. It will be available on Disney Plus and also in theaters. But I hope that even with the pandemic going on, people will still be able to, people who want to watch the film like me, will observe proper social distancing practices so as to avoid the possible spread of the virus. But anyway, I hope now that the vaccine has been released, I hope that a lot of us will be able to get access to it and will be able to get treated by it. Well, it's not vaccines aren't really a treatment, but I just hope that the number of cases of the pandemic, those that have been affected by the coronavirus, will not be as many as last year. So this year, I am excited for Disney to be releasing their new upcoming animated film, Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, this film is somewhat special to me because, for one, I'm a Southeast Asian, I'm a Filipino, so the Philippines is located in Southeast Asia, and Raya and the Last Dragon, although the setting is not really specifically located in a real place in Southeast Asia. The kingdom where it is set, it's named Komandra, has been inspired by Southeast Asian elements, mythology, and history. And it's so amazing because I grew up in the 90s. Um, and for every 90s kid, you are exposed to a lot of Disney stuff because just a short trivia during the 1990s, that was the time when Disney released um, musically animated films every year, and by every year, they release them constantly. It started with The Little Mermaid back in 1989, and then there's Rescuers Down Under in 1990. Let's see if I can remember them. But anyway, I was born in 1994, and it was the year when The Lion King was released. And following Down Under in 1990, they released A Beauty and the Beast, which was both a commercial and critical success because it was the first animated film to be released and to be nominated rather as Best Picture for the Oscars that in the following year. And then in the following year, they also released Aladdin in 1992. And at the time of release, it became the highest grossing animated film so far. Uh, before it was beat by before the record of Aladdin being the highest grossing animated film was beaten by The Lion King, which was released 2 years after in 1994, the year that I was born. But anyway, after the Lion King, we all know that the Lion King was the quintessential Disney animated flick that really inspired a generation of us. Um, I didn't see The Lion King first in theaters because I was a baby when it was released. But I watched it back then in VHS because my mom has always been excited also to let me and my sister watch Disney animated films back in the day. And after The Lion King, Pocahontas was released in 1995. And then after Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1996. 1997 has seen the release of Hercules, and 1998, Mulan, 1999, Tarzan. And I think the Renaissance era ended in the 1999. year because by the 2000s, Disney has begun to experiment films that aren't really specifically um, animated films, but they are um, films that integrated CGI in them. Although they have already done that practice years back, but it is only in the 2000s where they released films that have heavily integrated the CGI techniques. And then where that's the technique that they applied in the most recent films now. So in this video, I will be talking about the latest, the upcoming film by Disney, and it's called Raya and the Last Dragon. So I will give three reasons why Raya and the Last Dragon has got me excited. Because as a Disney fan, as a person who has always been following Disney animated films every time they release them. Um, this is something that I look forward to this year, and it's amazing because Disney is able to release something good out of the pandemic that happened last year. So I've also prepared a um, I've also prepared a this presentation. Allow me to present it to you guys. Ta-da! So yeah, this is how serious I am when it comes to stating my reasons why I love and I'm excited for Raya and the Last Dragon. But anyway, um, here it is: Raya and the Last Dragon to be released in theaters and also on Disney Plus, and I think it's gonna be released in March 5. So that's like nearly a month away. That's amazing. And then, so one reason why I am excited for it because the film is based on the mythology, the history, and also the elements that are found in Southeast Asia. And as you all know, Southeast Asia is the region just beneath China in Asia, and then just somewhere beside India, far beside India. So it is composed of countries such as my home country, the Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. And Southeast Asian countries are very rich in culture and history because our people uh, enjoyed um, our people historically people in Southeast Asia have been separated in kingdoms before the colonizers came. So they were very participative when it comes to trading, to influencing each other's cultures. So when you visit Southeast Asia, you notice that not only the people are alike, but somehow the languages are also similar to each other, and a lot of cultural elements are also ingrained in our social consciousness. So after this, one reason is also Raya and the Last Dragon is one of Disney's original animated film. By original animated film, this means that it's not necessarily based on an existing narrative, because most Disney films, and I will explain it later, have existed or like have been created based on existing narratives. Although Raya and the Last Dragon is actually based on mythology, Southeast Asian mythology, history, and culture. Um, the narrative itself is an original one by Disney. So over the years, we've seen a lot of Disney films, and I'm not gonna name all of them, but I'm just gonna name some of the popular ones. And I know that a lot of Disney films are popular, but these are some of the I'm just basing it on their um, Disney heroine canon. So Snow White, we all know, was based on the German or European fairy tale Snow White, and then Cinderella is also based on the Charles Perrault version. It's also a French fairy tale. But I know that it's not only limited in France, because European fairy tales vary in different countries, and then they are also originated from a lot of countries in Europe. And Sleeping Beauty, it was also based on a fairy tale. The Little Mermaid was based on Hans Christian Andersen's classical fairy tale. Beauty and the Beast is also based on the Brothers Grimm fairy tale. Princess Jasmine from Aladdin is also based on um, the classical Arabian tales of A Thousand and One Nights. So it's a compilation of fairy tales that originated in the Middle East. And Pocahontas was based on a historical figure, but I know that Disney has done a lot of creative liberties that they integrated in the narrative, which made it quite historically inaccurate. But the figure Pocahontas herself was based on a Native American heroine. And then Mulan was based on a Chinese legend, and Tiana was based on um, the Frog Prince, the fairy tale. Although the story is set in 1920s New Orleans, it was uh, they patterned the story of Tiana after the Frog Prince, the fairy tale itself. And then we have the most recent ones. Rapunzel in Tangled was based on Rapunzel, the fairy tale. And then we have Elsa and Anna, which were both based on Hans Christian Andersen's um, Snow Queen fairy tale. So these are some of the films that Disney has based on an existing material. And then the reason why Raya and the Last Dragon is an original animated film because there has never been a, at least none that I know of, a heroine that is named Raya in the Southeast Asian canon, Southeast Asian mythology and cultural elements. So yeah, going back to Raya and the Last Dragon being an original animated film, um, it is not the first animated film that Disney has made originally out of like their own narratives. So we've seen The Lion King, which I know is also based on Hamlet, but Disney um, uh, made the setting in Africa. So it's basically an original animated film because even though it's not consistent with the character, even though it's based on Hamlet, the characters aren't really consistent from Hamlet and from Shakespeare's Hamlet. So we also have Lilo and Stitch, which was released in 2002. So this is also an original animated film by Disney. Brother Bear, and then Home on the Range, which was somehow a box office flop. But then eventually, many Disney films have also been have received fandom over the years. So we have Bolt in 2008, Wreck-It Ralph in 2012, Zootopia, which was both a commercial and critical success, which also won the best animated film in the Oscars in 2017. And then we have Moana, which was also based on uh, Polynesian culture, but they actually made a narrative out of it. So one thing is also one reason that I love or like I'm getting excited for Raya and the Last Dragon is that representation always matters in a world where a lot of stories exist. I think it's about time that we amplify the culture and the narratives and the experiences of people who live in different parts of the world. So now that Disney is tackling Southeast Asian elements with Raya and the Last Dragon, I hope that they would also expand their um, universe or they expand their initiative to amplify the cultures and social elements of other uh, other communities living in the world. And then we have the cast is also um, majority of the cast are of Asian descent. So we have uh, I'm not gonna read all of them, but they're here. And then yeah, that's basically it. I'm excited for Raya and the Last Dragon, and it's one film that I'm looking forward to this year. So um, one thing that I am also looking forward to, but I will probably discuss it in the next videos, is um, Godzilla versus Kong. I think they released the same trailer about days before before Disney released Raya and the Last Dragon. But anyway, right now I'm just expressing my interest and excitement that Raya and the Last Dragon is probably gonna be a success because Disney has been releasing a lot of successful animated films lately, and I think that the past decade, the 2010s, has seen another decade of Disney Renaissance, and I think that Disney is evolving when it comes to their content, when it comes to their animated films, and when it comes to their narratives. So Raya and the Last Dragon, I'm rooting for you, and it's gonna be. I hope it's gonna be a hit, and I hope it's gonna be released in the Philippines in time when it will be released in March this year. So all the best.